Good evening, Michael. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you and the members of the Black Caucus. This is a great opportunity for me to be able to present my platform for my campaign for Jury Commissioner of Montgomery County, as well as to provide some information as to actually what the Jury Commissioner's Department does. My name is Andrea Baptiste, and as I stated, I am running for Jury Commissioner in Montgomery County as a Democrat. After spending years in the retail sector and the financial sector, as well as being a real estate agent, I have developed the skills that I will need to effectively run and manage the department, still providing a good level of customer service for our friends, neighbors, residents, and voters who are chosen to come in for jury duty. I was born and raised in Norristown, went through the school system, went to college in Marietta, Ohio, got a degree in history with a minor in Spanish. I was not destined to teach. I ultimately went into the retail business. I started out as an assistant buyer at Lord & Taylor, Fifth Avenue, New York. Ultimately got promoted to fine jewelry buyer at the head company in Washington, D.C. I spent about 15, 20 years plus in the retail business, either as a buyer or a store manager. Then I got involved in real estate development with the Goldenberg Group in Bluebell. For a while, I was a real estate agent with Weikert Realtors, and ultimately went to Vanguard, uh, got my Series 7 license, and was trading stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds for Vanguard up until 2023. In I, I believe very strongly that all the skills and experience that I gathered through those various points in my working career will translate very well into working with and managing the jury commissioner department in Montgomery County. You learn through interaction not only with upper management, mid-level management, and customers, how to anticipate folks' needs, how to provide a good level of customer service. Clearly, you learn budgeting and finance and various other skills that help you provide a good experience when folks come in for jury duty, regardless of whether or not they get picked, because not everyone gets picked, we know that. However, the point is you are providing a service for your friends, your relatives, your constituents, your residents, and your voters. And particularly in the times in which we find ourselves, we want to make sure that we're providing a positive experience in order to regain trust, if you will, in the process and in the system. Because with some of the things that are happening on a national level, I strongly believe that there are citizens, residents, friends, and neighbors who have lost a little bit of faith in our representative democracy. So on a local level, if you have good interaction on an everyday basis, positive, competent, and caring, you start to rebuild that trust in the process, including re-energizing community engagement. I might add that as well. PA General Assembly Title 42 stipulates what will happen with a jury commissioner department. Now, Montgomery County is one of 4 counties that still has a jury commissioner department: Center, Fayette, Snyder, and Monco. In the Montgomery County Jury Commissioner's Office, names are picked by computer at random from a database from which and the information comes from the Department of Motor Vehicles and voter registration rolls. That is the process. So, as a member of the marginalized community, one of my focuses would be to inform folks of the importance of participating in a jury by way of, at minimum, registering to vote. Not everyone drives. But if we engage with our community with that one ask, Then we get into the pool. Now, I will say this. In Montgomery County, there is, and I have not met the gentleman yet, but there is what they call a judicial court administrator. So one of my goals is to meet with him and review that the process, the at random process by computer from which the names are drawn, and see if indeed there is any way, or has it been examined in the past and not implemented? Is there any way that jury selection could still remain random without violating anyone's rights to privacy, but making sure all segments of the marginalized community are included in the database from which the names are selected? Again, uh, I'm going to pursue that because I get asked that question a lot, because I am a woman of color. And I believe very strongly that we should be represented in the selection to the maximum degree that we can. I believe that connecting with the community through community events, through the churches, through the schools, to provide information about the importance of serving on a jury. So if a defendant, if it is a jury trial, if there is a defendant who is of color, will see someone from his community, not to be biased, not to be eventually swayed because of color, but to be there to assess the evidence. Now, the office, as I see it, can make those regular connections to the community. There is no hard and fast rule that the jury commissioner's office can't be part of a community day. Pass out information. There is no hard and fast rule that the jury commissioner, like other row officers, can not go to a career day. Not necessarily that you're advocating that someone become an attorney, but you could be there to represent the row officers and the county, just to let folks know how the county works and what we are there to do for you as residents and how your taxpayer dollars are being spent. So wrap that all up into uplifting through education, through interaction, in a sense. That's what I believe can be done with this office. A just future starts with everyday people stepping into their power. That is my tagline, because I firmly believe that a lot of folks who are not as engaged in the political process as some of us are don't fully fathom the power that they have inside their communities, on the local level, on the county level, and on the state level. It is not necessary to be a celebrity or an attorney to advocate for your community, to educate yourself on the issues, and to get out and vote. That is why, after some ruminating, I thought this would be a good quote, particularly going back to folks saying, I don't want to be picked for jury duty, but on the other hand, complaining about perhaps it was a relative, or we've seen on a national level the results of some of the trials, criminal trials, that have not really, shall I say, fully provided equitable justice for those defendants involved. But if we get engaged, if we get involved, if we exercise the power that we have, regardless of our socioeconomic status, we have a say. We are not helpless.